I played Marvel Rivals for the first time today ever, and I thought I'd give you guys my first impressions on it. First of all, I downloaded it with high expectations of the game, and it was interesting to say the least. In short terms, I didn't care for it. I'm an Overwatch fan, and I always will be an Overwatch fan, but I thought I'd talk about the game a little bit. The reason that I didn't do an actual video on it was because the game's audio was corrupted, so it only picked up my voice. So now I turned it into a commentary video. So something that I did like about the game is that it's a hero shooter. I love those. I loved Overwatch. I always have liked Overwatch since I started playing it a couple years ago. But what I don't like about it is just it's not fun, and the way that Overwatch is fun. It's all the characters have really good abilities. Like, don't get me wrong there. I loved playing Spider-Man when I was. And you can see here that I'm playing Venom right now, and he was cool too. But all the characters don't really have a ranged attack. Like, a lot of them don't have ranged attacks. It's not a shooter when, in like the sense of that it says it's a shooter. Most of the characters attack with different abilities that are either melee or have like a ranged attack that is not super powerful. And here you see I'm selecting Spider-Man here, and he was cool. But something that I didn't like about Spider-Man was that his main attack was punching and not shooting his webs. And like, I guess it kind of makes sense, like in like the movies and stuff, he fights with his hands, and like he does, I don't know what it is, like karate. I don't know what kind of fighting style he uses. But that's what he does in like the movies, and I understand that. But he only has like 5 web uses of his web shooter, and they take a while to reload. And I don't really like that aspect of the game. And they don't even do that much damage. They're only useful if you're far away from your enemy, and you need to get some damage in, like some quick damage. And that's something that I didn't really like about him. He's a very fun character to play other than that. Like, you could swing around with him. And I thought that they balanced the swing ability pretty well. Like, it recharges pretty fast. But it's an interesting character. And something else I noticed is that Iron Man in this game is very powerful. They should have never made a character that powerful and put it in a game, because he has permanent flight. And I don't know if any other characters have permanent flight. I only played for about an hour and a half. And then I just decided I didn't like it. And I did enjoy it somewhat. It's a fun game, and I think that it has potential, especially if they buff Spider-Man or make his web attack his main attack. But like, other characters also just like all the tanks. Well, they're called vanguards in this game, but they're tank. Let's face it, it's a tank. And all of them kind of attack with a melee almost. It's pretty much a melee attack, and all of them do it almost like. And they have a ranged. They do have a ranged. I'll give them that, but it's like, it's not really a shooter if over half of your characters don't have shooting as your primary fire. And like, I get that's called a hero shooter, but it's not really a shooter. It's a fun Marvel game though. One of the better Marvel games that I've played as well. I also really liked what's it called? Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I played that a while back and I enjoyed it. But I like that this one's online, and I liked the idea of a Marvel hero shooter as well. It was a cool idea, but I don't think they executed it very well. Now, I know like a lot of diehard Marvel Rival fans are going to be upset at this video. I'm just giving my personal opinions. I think it's a great game, and that a lot of people probably do love it. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. It doesn't really matter. But if you're like me and you don't care for it, comment down below and just do that. So, one of the other problems I was talking about was Iron Man. He flies, permanently flies. Like, that's like his main thing. He shoots exploding projectiles that do a lot of damage. And he also has a beam attack, and he's very hard to kill, especially when you're playing like some characters, especially he's like moving around a bunch. He's pretty fast when he's in the air and hard to hit. And they can just fly up to the top of the map and shoot everyone from below. and it's really hard to hit him. It's really, really annoying to deal with a lot of the time. I was playing, and I was just getting absolutely wrecked by the Iron Man that was flying in the air. I tried to take care of him, but you really can't do much unless you're playing Iron Man as well. Like I said, he's hard to hit. He does too much damage. He needs to be nerfed in some way, or just like if he's flying, maybe you should be able to like knock him out of the air. Like that would be nice. I just think that he needs to be nerfed. Also, the what's her name? Luna Snow. I did pretty good with her. She plays like my main from Overwatch is just Ana a little bit. I didn't have much to critique about her. She's a good character. Then you got like just like some like the gameplay aspect from this. A lot of the characters are really, really powerful. And I think what they were thinking is that it's going to balance out since they're all really powerful. But that's just not the case. Some characters with weaker health are just going to get shredded by other characters. I was playing Spider-Man for the most of this game because he's my favorite Marvel hero. And his low health, like 250 health, especially compared to the like tanks and stuff, it's a very difficult character to play. Also, ignore the phone ringing there for a few seconds. And like, it's an interesting character to play as. Now, I tried to get a different perspective on some of the characters as well. I played quite a few in the time that I was recording, but Spider-Man was my kinda favorite until I played Iron Fist. That's a really good character as well. I was doing really well with him. But like, and then there's characters like Hawkeye. He's cool. My friend I was playing with here was playing Black Widow. They were doing pretty well as her. From what they said. I enjoyed the game. Just not enjoyed it. I had fun while playing it, but it's not my kind of game. It's also in third person, and I don't really like that kind of play style. I used to like it, but then I started playing a lot of first person shooters, and I got used to that. And third person just feels a little weird to me. And I get that, like, it plays pretty much exactly the same as first person. Like, if you just, like, imagine you're looking through that and then your character is just there, like, it's kind of the same thing. It's just, like, you're playing with it's, like, the same camera, I guess, but your character's model doesn't show up on the screen, if you think about it. And I don't care for third person, though. Because of that, I don't like seeing my character on the screen. It's distracting. But like, it's interesting. I like some third person games. I used to play Fortnite a lot, but then I quit that. And I moved to Overwatch because I just preferred it more. Like, I don't want to offend anyone here either, like diehard Marvel Rival fans. I know that there's a few maybe watching this video. I just personally didn't really care for it. Like, not that much. I had fun while playing it, but I don't think I'll play it again. If you know what I'm saying. Like, I think like the initial like thought of playing as your favorite heroes in a 6v6 shooter game was cool. And like I was really excited to play it, and it was super cool that they made this game, but then I got around to playing it and it's not how I envisioned it. Also, I wanted to talk about the skill-based matchmaking. So, this is just in any game though. This is not just Marvel Rivals. Almost every game has this problem. The skill-based matchmaking needs fixing, or just not do skill-based matchmaking. You could add ranks to casual play and make that like your rank-based matchmaking, so people of the other rank that you're on. There should be two sets of ranks, so there should be casual ranks and competitive ranks, and you shouldn't get them like confused, because ranks and competitive make sense, but ranks and casual, it'd be a nice addition to be able to have, to tell like which kind of like skill level you're in. And like the casual level ranks would be a nice addition to the game. As well as the, what is it called? The roll queue. I don't think that roll queue is a good thing in games, because if you don't have roll queue, you're going to have unbalanced teams. I think every team should have 2 supports, 2 damage, 2 tanks. That's the perfect layout, and that's why I prefer roll queue. This is just my personal preference though. Some other people may disagree with me. But like, when you have roll queue, it's a lot more balanced, because I was playing earlier when I was playing Marvel Rivals. I had trouble getting a balanced team because my team was all damage, maybe 1 support, not even a tank. And I actually had to fill in for tank, and I'm horrible at playing tank. I typically go for support, but I had to fill in for tank a few times because we didn't have one on the team. And I think that they should add role-based matchmaking. Or role-based matchmaking. Like, you have to queue in for your role before you start the game. That would be nice. Along with like the what's it called? Just having role-based matchmaking in a game makes it more balanced, because you're not gonna have unbalanced teams, because like one team could just be playing like entirely damage, and the other one could have like a actual balanced team, and the one with the actual balanced team is obviously going to win against the damage, because you have 2 supports, 2 damage, 2 tanks, and that helps because you're getting the supports to heal the tanks and the other damage. You're getting the damage to go in and do damage and rush, and the tanks to play defensive. And I think that that's something that Marvel Rivals needs to add into the game as well. Along with, I think, like, I know it's like a new game, but I think that they should add more of like the tanks and make them feel more tank like if that's how you want to say it, like tanky, because I noticed that all the tanks just do melee attacks, like what I said earlier. It's like, yeah, a few do have the ranged attacks, but most of them do melee, and I don't prefer that over a ranged attack. I don't see really who would prefer that, and I saw like a bunch of people playing tank, and I think it's a great role, because I was getting crushed by some of those tanks, and I still think it's like a great role in the game, but I personally did not like the tanks in this game. I tried playing them. They're all melee. That's like their main attack is melee, and I don't like that for a tank character. I get like the concept, like I guess it's hard to do it with Marvel's tanks because you got like the Hulk. You don't really have a ranged attack with the Hulk. He just kind of punches stuff. And like same with like the Thing and Venom. And I get that because it's Marvel, but I don't like the having to deal with only having a melee attack. It adds something to the game that's not necessary, because it's just you're melee attacking when you should really be range attacking. I guess they did substitute for this by giving the tanks more health than most tanks in other games, but it's just they need to be more balanced in their attacks. And like same for Spider-Man. Like I didn't play too many characters, but Spider-Man and Iron Fist. Iron Fist was a good like character for melee only because they move fast and really, really fast. And I liked that about them because the quick movement is a good balance for melee. But all the tanks are really slow. And it's not a good balance for a melee character to be slow because they can't. The other player could, that with like, say you're playing as Luna Snow, she's a quick character on her feet, and you're playing as a tank, and you're trying to go chase after that Luna Snow by like punching her with like the tank. And yeah, most of them do have a ranged ability, but say they're on cooldown, that like, you just like used them, you missed, and the Luna Snow is moving away from you while shooting you, and you're just trying to chase her because you have to get close to her to punch her, and it's like a little bit weird. And with like characters with good mobility as well, like if the tanks had better mobility, I'd be fine with that. And some of the tanks probably do have pretty good mobility. But those were just like a few critiques that I wanted to talk about while playing Marvel Rivals. So I think that's where I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching. Remember not to take this seriously, because these are just my personal opinions, and you don't really have to listen to them if you don't want to, but I did not really care for Marvel Rivals at all. I'm going to stick to my games. Bye-bye.